often hear that someone can look healthy on the outside but still have major hidden risks. Can you explain how that works with metabolism and heart health?
Absolutely. When I work with clients, I work with their metabolism and balancing their insulin levels. And that's all the hidden diseases or symptoms someone might have that affects their metabolism and also their blood sugar levels over time and their health, which can cause dis-ease in the body. So whenever I think of dis-ease, I say it like that, not disease, because it's dis-ease in the body, right?
Smart.
It's how you feel. So if you're in, and I'm not saying that everything you're feeling is a disease. So let's not get worried, paranoid. But you want to be aware of the symptoms so that you can be preventable and empower yourself to feel better. So if you cut your foot, for example, you wouldn't walk around with a cut foot. You'd put a Band-Aid on it. You'd put some antibiotics on it, like some Polysporin or whatever you put on it. And then you'd make sure you're resting or you're icing that area. But same with inside your body. These are things you can't see. So a lot of times, women and men, they'll have a distended stomach. Right? And that actually already is, for me, I think of when I work with clients, I think of like the organs. For me, I always think of organs. But it talks about the liver, and everything starts in the liver. Okay. So if you already have like a diagnosis from your doctor, you really want to work on strengthening your gut, your liver, and your pancreas to get it healthy and working optimally. So someone could be walking around and drinking coffee all day, having a donut, or even skipping breakfast and just eat, having coffee till like 1, or not even eating all day. And what they're actually doing is they're spiking their cortisol levels. So they're actually, whatever they're putting in their body and eating and drinking, their body's holding on to it because it needs that fuel and to keep you going and to go through your blood and your brain to keep you feeling better and to give you energy. But if you are not giving it the right fuel, and then over time, your fat gets stored, and that's how people get dis-ease, because they're already nutritionally deficient. And they're not realizing all those things are actually causing a clog in the pipes of their metabolism and slowing it down without the meaning to. It just happens because that's how your body's so smart.
Well, for someone like me, I feel there's a lot of fat in the lower part of the stomach. So can you explain how and why where this fat is stored in your body?
Absolutely. Well, did you know that insulin is a hormone? So that's when you know that makes you realize how much it affects your whole body. Oh. And the fat stored so inside your body, the fat is called your visceral fat. So that's the fat you see around your liver, or the doctors will see that around your liver or your pancreas, even the heart, that you can't see. That's a hidden fat. And then the subcutaneous fat is what you see on the outside, what we always visually see. So those types of fats are something to be aware of, and you want to get healthier from the inside out, not the outside in.
Why do you think metabolism is important? And especially for someone like me who have no medical background or much knowledge on medicine. So can you explain that to me in brief?
Yes. The reason why metabolism is everything actually is because it's always balancing your hormones. So biochemically, we're all unique, like a fingerprint. Like not one of us is the same. So your metabolism is key because that's a determining factor of how healthy you are inside your body. And so once you have a balance in your body with your metabolism, then you can definitely feel better and you'll have more energy, right? You'll sleep better. You'll be able to not have those highs and lows throughout the day. And you'll also be able to feel more like yourself again, get into those jeans you want to fit in. You feel more like you were when you're younger. And every age needs certain nutrients and different tweaking a little bit of the nutrient quality, not the actual. We don't count the calories in my world. We actually want you to have the most dense food for what you're eating. So for example, you could have like a bag of chips that could be 300 calories, but you could also have a nice piece of salmon that could equally be 300 calories.
But Aren't chips labeled dangerous?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, they're trans fat. And they also cause free radical damage in your cells. So that's where your body, if something's foreign to your body and you're eating it, even GMO foods, your body will store it in your liver and then get rid of it. But if your body's already sort of a little bit sluggish and it can't get rid of what it needs to, that's where the liver protects your body so it doesn't harm your bloodstream and your brain over time and your heart.
Oh, even your brain at the end of the day is affected due to this fat.
Yes, exactly. Like some people, there's chemicals that cross the blood-brain barrier. And then you have your like hormonal system working, like your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, and it's communicating all day long to keep your body in balance. Like when you look at the light outside, you're actually like not direct in the sunlight, but if you have like sunlight coming in through your window or outside, and you have that going into your eyes, it's going through your eyes to your pineal gland, and it's actually helping your body absorb vitamin D, which is another part of the hormonal system. So all day long, your brain, your heart, your stomach is always talking, so that like it's trying to keep you in homeostasis, which is balance, and it's trying to keep the pH balanced so you're not overly acidic. Because over time, this is where dis-ease creeps in, and a lot of people get frustrated and they're like, why do I have all these symptoms? What's going on? I eat healthy. I think I'm doing all the right things. But it does catch up with us, just like taking care of your home on the outside and not the inside, or like could be any analogy really. But we tend to take care of material things more than ourselves. And until we don't want to wait till it's too late. Like we want to have a better mindset with taking care of your own bodies, like daily as your lifestyle.
So if you have to point out to everyday habit that damages your heart and diabetes, what would it be?
For me, I feel it's too much sugar in our diet. That is a determining factor of all the problems that people get in their body, because we're eating on the run, and there's hidden sugars in all of our processed foods and things that we think we're eating healthy and we're not. We're not meaning to not eat healthy, but it's just the way our society is. And a lot of foods, for example, have wheat in them, and even in a lot of cultures, wheat is a staple. But over time, you can actually become sensitive to it, and you can get allergic or to wheat, and it can cause sensitivity in your body and insulin sensitivity, and get stored with too much sugar in the body too.
And sugar, when you're talking about sugar, does this affect our kids? Because our kids eat a lot of sugary foods.
Yeah,
everything that they touch, from their lunch box to their dinner,
right?
There's so much of sugar in it. And does that affect the kids too?
It does, especially because when we're busy moms and we want them to like enjoy what they're eating, but a lot of times we don't always take the time to plan, and we don't always cook homemade meals all the time. But it's really important to not be lured by the advertising of different packaged foods. It's really best to give your children whole foods so that it's fresh, and so that they're getting less sugar in their diet. Because a lot of kids are going through puberty younger and younger, and they have obesity because of the lifestyle with technology, but also from the lack of whole foods in their diet, unfortunately.
And puberty in kids is very early these years.
Now it is, yeah.
I believe it's 6. Is it 6 or 8?
About 8 now, about 8 to 12. Even 10, depends on the child, but around 8 or 9 at the youngest age. And it's scary because like we can't control all the hormones that are put in our foods, but we can do our best to figure out ways to cook more whole foods and more variety for them, so that they can have a good start when they get older, and so that they can balance their hormones and their metabolism and keep their organs healthier. I also think it's good to have like them involved in the kitchen so that they can help with cooking, and then they can also
it's a learning process.
It's a learning process for everyone, yeah.
Right.
And then they can have an input on what they want to eat and what they don't want to eat. But also, like, you have to sort of try 5 to 10 times a new food before they actually like it. So just knowing that really makes you feel better that, you're not having the struggle trying to feed your child something healthy. When eventually they will eat that food.
And when you mention fat, does it affect only adults, or can we take into consideration the kids even? Like, do kids have this fat accumulated in their body? And what age is it?
Well, the thing is, like, we need a certain amount of fat in our bodies. Like, we need it for our hormones. We need it for our brains. Our brains need a lot of fat, and it also cushions your spine and your whole system, your circulatory system as well, to get out the free radical damage in your body. So fats aren't necessarily the bad thing, but it's when you eat too many fried foods or too many unhealthy fats that are packaged, then that's where the fats turn into sugar. Even too much breads. And that's where people don't realize that they think they're eating healthy, but it's actually turning into sugar and causing all these health ailments down the road.
Yes.
It's not anyone's fault. It's just not understanding or knowing. It's just, you don't really think about it, but in my world, I always think about the organs and how it's affecting the person. Even emotions affect the person with their metabolism, because it slows down the whole system as well.
The emotions. Mm-hmm. Oh, emotions play an important role.
Oh, big role. Yeah. There's a term called psychoneuroimmunology.
Okay.
So it's how your thoughts or your feelings affect your biochemistry in your body. And even if and your immune system, so even if you have like an emotion, like say you're going through something stressful and you're really upset with yourself, or you get angry, or you have something going on, you feel depressed, that can really affect your biochemistry and cause a shift in your acidity and your pH in your body as well.
So Jenny, can you explain me how obesity disrupts metabolism?
Yes. So obesity disrupts metabolism because what happens is it causes a clog in the whole system. So the whole body can't metabolize your foods properly because everything's working more sluggish or more slowly.
So what is the relationship then? What is the relationship between obesity and diabetes, like especially the type 2 diabetes?
So what happens with obesity and type 2 diabetes, it causes something called insulin resistance. So what that means is over time, the organs are overworked and they can't work optimally. So it causes other symptoms with your pancreas, which balances your insulin in your body, so it can't work as properly as it should. So what that means is the sugar is being stored in the liver and the pancreas, which means what you're eating is the sugar is being the organs are always working. So it's always making sure you have enough glucose in your body. When you have diabetes and you're diagnosed with diabetes, your body's never getting a rest. It's always trying to process that sugar and always putting it out in your body. So then over time, your body can't make enough glucose. It can't work properly because it's already exhausted and burnt out. And that's why sometimes we need help with medicine or even insulin with type 2 diabetes because your body already is crying out for help.
What is the percentage of people being obese having what is the percentage of people, percentage of obesity people having diabetes?
It's a very high percentage, and a lot of people are not. I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose, but I can tell you that a lot of people that are obese already have a hypoglycemia. So they're already having the symptoms of diabetes and even walking around with it, but they don't know they have it necessarily. And it doesn't necessarily mean someone that's obese or a little bit overweight medically is even going to have diabetes or even going to have like a visceral fat in their organs. It depends on their lifestyle and what they're already eating. So it's a tricky situation because it's not all a hard and fast rule. Like we can't generalize because we're all very unique.
I feel I eat well.